Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video I have another kawaii DIY for you. I've actually made a plush today and that is of this kawaii plushie jellyfish. I've always wanted to make a jellyfish plush but never actually got around to it, and now obviously we're all stuck inside, so I figured now was a better time than ever and I thought I would just make this today. So I made it out of some plush fabric and loads of like this pom-pom trim that I already had hanging around. Hopefully if some of you have this materials already in your house then you'll be able to make something similar. If you do, please tag me on Instagram. I would love to see your creations and put them on my stories and that sort of stuff. So yeah, be sure to tag me on Instagram. I hope you're all staying inside, staying safe and healthy as much as you can be, and hopefully these projects are keeping you nice and entertained and you're able to get your, you know, kawaii craft on a little bit. They're definitely helping me get through my days. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed today's video and could take away a little bit of inspiration. So like I said at the start of the video, I used a light pink plush fabric to make mine. I drew out this shape and I cut that out 3 times so that I had 3 identical pieces. The plush fabric that I'm using is by a brand called Shannon Fabrics. It's my favourite plush fabric ever. If you've watched my plushes before, you will know that I only use this brand pretty much for 99% of my fabrics just because I love it. It's affordable and it's so soft and it's really easy to get online. Once you have those 3 pieces, you'll then need to attach them together. So as you can see here, I'm putting them right sides together and then marking out where you should stitch. You want to do this on pretty much 3 kind of, you know, sections of that. So stitching from the flat edge up to the point, flat edge up to the point, flat edge up to the point until your shape is all together. You could do this by hand stitching, using a sewing machine, gluing it, however you want to put together your plush, you can obviously do that. I actually just stitched mine on the sewing machine because it was quicker. I have a sewing machine set up all time, so I did that. I then realised that the opening at the bottom of my plush was around about the same size as a candle holder, so I drew around that until I had a circle, and then I made sure that the original piece was inside out, so all the raw edges are pointing outwards as you can see, and taking that circle I put it right sides together with the edge of that so that it was facing inwards, and I stitched all the way around, manoeuvring it around, you know, as I went, stitching it, manoeuvring it around, stitching it and all of that. Once I had got pretty much all the way around, leaving about an inch gap, I then stopped and turned it the right size way round, and then I lightly stuffed it with some toy stuffing. To seal all of that toy stuffing in, I just did a quick little stitch along the kind of hole. I just poked in the fabric to make sure I had a nice neat edge and then stitched that down into place. Once that was done, I then took some pom-pom trim and just started hand stitching that like on one end to the base of the jellyfish kind of body bit of the plush. So I actually used a mixture of white pom-pom trim and light pink pom-pom trim because this is what I had available to me. I also had yellow and stuff, but that didn't kind of go on plush, so I just used the pink and the white for this because I thought it would go really nicely with the pink plush that I used on the body. So I just kept on going, stitching these down on one end, leaving the other end kind of raw, and just making sure that this was nice and full. In the end, I think I used 12 strands of pom-pom trim in total, just enough to kind of fill out the base. Once I had enough pom-pom trim all down at the bottom, I then took a darker kind of fuchsia colour with like mini pom-poms on, and I used that trim to go all the way around the edge of like the original ones, just to make it look a little bit neater, a little bit more put together. I used a kind of similar cotton thread to stitch that on because I wanted this bit to be really neat. If you don't like stitching, you can of course like hot glue these bits down, fabric glue them down. I'm sure that will work in just the same way. It might even be quicker, but I chose to stitch them because I just prefer my plushes to be hand stitched rather than glued. So I then took some embroidery floss, poked that up through the bottom of like the jellyfish kind of body bit, and then I tied it in a knot at the top and poked the excess kind of thread back through. To make the face, I cut off the backs of some toy safety eyes, hot glued them into place just because I didn't put them in when I made the plush, but you can of course put them in like usual. I hot glued them down, then taking some Tulip slick fabric paint, I painted on a little mouth. I was going to leave it as a little dash, kind of like a Smika Grashi kind of face, but I thought it looked a little bit sad, so I turned it into a little open smile just by painting that on, and then I painted on some pink fuchsia colour to make the blush and the tongue for the inside of the face, and then I let that dry. So this is how the little jellyfish has turned out. It's really hard to show you on camera, like facing it this way, but these bits dangle down really well. Hopefully I'll be able to put something over the screen now so you can see it a little bit better. I did make this hook so it's able to like hook onto a door handle or something like that. I think I might put it on a hook in my room somewhere so that it's hanging up. I do have like a door in front of me, which would be so cute. At the moment I've got like a little axolotl and Kirby hanging off it, and this kind of matches the colors of those, so I think that this will be super cute. I love the way that the fuchsia kind of color on the tongue and the blush match this bit here, which I think is so cute. It just hides all of those ugly little hand stitchy bits. But yeah, really happy with how this has come out. I didn't expect it to come out quite so good, but it has, so I'm really happy with it. Anyway, I hope you have enjoyed today's video. If you did, please do give it a thumbs up, and I will see you again tomorrow for another video. Bye!